Well, folks, today here on All In, we have an entrepreneur on the show that has taken it to a whole new level with us. We never know what's going to come rolling through here today, and we have a man who has made a living for a long time, very successful, very popular, very innovative, if you will. Man whose business is all about chocolate to the point to where he can teach others all about chocolate, and you never know. They may get in the chocolate biz as well. But Zach Townsend's the guest. He's with us today. We're going to learn everything about Zach, a whole lot about chocolate, and how he's been able to make a business out of it all these years. Zach, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
The Chocolate Man.
Yes, that's me.
So, Dallas Chocolate Classes.
Yes.
Okay, we talk about this all the time here on the show. That the best name for a company is a name that tells exactly what they do. Where are you located, Dallas? What are you teaching? Chocolate? Oh, how do you do it? With classes? Dallas Chocolate Classes.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Well, let's get into that a little bit. Before I do that, though, I want to get background in your history. Now, you've been in the chocolate world for 27 years?
Right. I was living in Paris and back in 1990, and a great place to be for chocolate, obviously, but I was studying pastry and dessert making, and knew the Jambon family, who founded Jeff de Bruges Chocolate Company.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And they're located all throughout Europe, so I often would hang out at the Jambon's apartment, big, posh, beautiful apartment in Paris. And every time I would go in, they would offer me a box of chocolate, typically, just as a greeting or hello. Or, So I became very fascinated with chocolate and fine chocolate, thanks to Michel, the father, who founded the company. So from that point forward is when I really developed my interest in chocolate. So I started studying chocolate as much as I could from that point forward, including working at La Petite Rose pastry shop in Paris under a lady who worked for Gérard Moulot, a grand pastry house in Paris, and she would do all the chocolate work in her shop.
Wow.
So I was working underneath her. Then came back to the U.S. hoping to open my own chocolate shop.
Well, we always talk about the importance of mentors. I think you know that part of your career.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm guessing, we'll get into this more later, but I'm guessing you two are a mentor now, all these years later.
Yes.
And that's what the chocolate classes are all about.
That's right. That's exactly right. I did not open my chocolate shop as I intended in the early 2000s in Dallas. I was doing a lot of things in chocolate leading up to that, but hoping to open, as every good chocolatier does, his own chocolate shop. However, I got distracted by writing, became a writer also and a cookbook translator. I translate cookbooks from French to English for publishers around the world. But since I didn't open my chocolate shop, I wanted to stay in production, wanted to stay in the kitchen. So I knew that I loved to teach. And so Dallas Chocolate Classes seemed like the perfect step-off point for me. Rather than having my chocolate shop and continuing with production, is just teaching everyone else and inspiring everyone. We're all chocolate lovers, 99.99% of us. So I enjoy teaching people about how to use it and how to enjoy it even more.
So what is you offer with your group for classes? I mean, what are we offering? I mean, are we teaching like serious people that want to maybe open a chocolate shop, or is it couples and stuff that want to hang together and make chocolate things?
Yeah, it's mostly in what I call enthusiasts, people who just are looking for something interesting to do. They are fascinated with chocolate. They are definitely beginners. 99% of who I teach, who I go out and speak to, are beginners. And I actually love that because it's kind of like we have this childlike aura to us when we're learning something new, very absorbent of information and wanting to learn more. So I love teaching beginners. It's a lot of couples classes, couples looking to have experience together. I also do a lot of on-site events where I go to corporations and I do team building events. For large corporations. And they like that because I can come on site to them rather than having to
it's a lot easier to bring one guy and equipment over than it is to take 20, 30, however many people to another location.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So when we're saying we're teaching to make chocolate, are we making desserts? Are we making candies? Are we making beverages? What are we doing?
Well, actually all of that. I teach people about using chocolate in the kitchen. So it is dessert making. It could be fine chocolates. It could be molded chocolates, something a little bit more technical. It could be tempering chocolate, creating the molds, the box, that you actually see when you go into a chocolate shop. How do you do that? Or it could just be very simple, very approachable desserts that you can do at home. So, and also teaching people about chocolate choices. Like when you go into a store to buy chocolate, there are a lot of choices.
Yeah, I've noticed that. When you walk in, somebody like myself that's not up on the chocolate world, I'm chocolate. Oh, not really. It's
right,
not.
yeah. So you have a lot of choices in front of you, and a lot of people don't know exactly where to go, and because it's a tricky ingredient, you just end up picking something, and then whatever you're trying to do doesn't necessarily turn out very well. So my goal is to help people understand chocolate, how to work with it and have more fun with it. If you can imagine having more fun with just eating it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty fun on its own.
That's right. But just that experience, it's also a fascinating product. An amazing product with an amazing history. Its origins, teaching people about the origins of chocolate, teaching people about the plant itself that leads to the making of chocolate. I think once you can have that understanding, then you just enjoy the product that much more.
Is it fair to say, Zach, that there's a lot of correlations between chocolate and wine? The way you're talking, I could see you teaching people about wine. There's different types of grapes that make different types of wine. You get chocolate from different regions that make different types of chocolate. I could kind of see.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of parallels there with it being a plant product, a fermented product. There's fermentation that actually takes place. Okay. There are varietals in the way that there are wine grape varietals. There are varietals of what we call cacao, the plant itself. The processing, the complication of the processing, the actual chocolate maker versus the winemaker making personal decisions about how to process those grapes into either really good wine, if you're a great winemaker, or maybe something that needs a little bit of assistance. So same thing with the chocolate makers. You have really great ones, and you have those that are, trying to become great.
Well, let's be honest though, even if you're teaching an amateur like me, the mistakes are fun to take care of as well.
Yeah, and I tell people, no matter what mistake you make, don't scrape it into the garbage.
Yes, yeah. We'll figure out something for it.
You can find out something to do with it.
So what type of goals do you have for Dallas Chocolate Classes? You plan on expanding or franchising? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, my goal is to definitely just keep expanding the number of people that I reach on a yearly basis. And I've gone back and I've calculated since 2011. So far, I've been in front of about 6,000 people teaching them.
That is outstanding.
I didn't realize it was that many. So I set a goal of 10,000 people in the next year.
I think you're well on your way.
Teaching and my mission is to educate, enlighten, and excite. So you do become educated.
Yeah.
Which by default you become enlightened, and then that also excites you about the product too.
Well, and like you said earlier, learning. We all inherently want to learn. Learning is exciting as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have a lot of entrepreneurs coming through here, but you're, for lack of a better term, outside of the box. I mean, with the stuff you do, I mean, do you just wake up every day thinking, you know what, maybe this, and just come up with a new class or a new subject?
I do, yeah, and I love that part of it. That's part of being an entrepreneur.
Sure.
Your mind is constantly in some sort of creative mode. So it's your own thoughts about what you want to do and what you envision, but you're also listening to the people that you're in front of. When someone says, I am interested in this, or I want to have a better understanding of something else. So that then can trigger an idea for me about what to do next. So a lot of my classes and the way that I've styled them, the group experiences that I offer on site, the mobile experiences. Also, I now have a new service called Chocolate Fondue to You. So I bring an at-home chef service to set up fondue for parties and things. Is me listening to what people are interested in. So I try to take that and then create something fun out of it.
Well, you had me at chocolate. But we were talking all the year. My wife is into chocolate, really into chocolate. Who isn't into chocolate at different levels? But whatever level you're at, folks, with your chocolate desires or chocolate dreams, this is the guy that can help you out. If you just want to learn a couple of things, you want to take it deeper, you're looking for a group experience, whether it's your work, a social club, whatever. I guess you work with kids too. We didn't
I work a lot with kids. Do a lot of at-home private parties for kids, and they're another group that just totally absorbs the information. They're very fun, very fun to teach and be in front of.
We're all kids at heart. We all love chocolate, and nobody knows it more than Zach Townsend, owner, Dallas Chocolate Classes. Thank you for coming in with us today. I appreciate it. I learned a lot about chocolate. Look forward to learning more.
All right. Thank you very much.
Folks, thank you as well. Catch you next time.